Good morning, everybody. It's Melanie at Minnesota Title, and I am going to run through a quick overview on RON closings, which means remote online notarization. So we'll just get right to it here. And let me just open up the slideshow. So basically, we're just going to go over what RON is, how does it work, the benefits of RON, and what you need to know as an agent, because that's the most important thing. So a little overview of the types of closings that have happened in the past. So everybody knows about the wet signing one. That's the traditional one. It's in person. Everyone's around the table. There's paper documents, wet signatures. You've got the notary there, and then they send the packages away. The hybrid closing is a little bit mix of both. So you've got the in-person, there's some paper documents, some digital documents, and then you've got your notary. And then I don't know if anyone's done a lot of e-closings. They're getting more popular too. So that's in person, but it's digital documents. You've got the electronic signatures with that. And now we have the remote online notary closing. It's not here yet, but hopefully by the end of the summer it will be. This is not in person at all. And the notary public appears before a signer via webcam, kind of like what we're doing right now. And then digital documents have the e-signatures. So remote online notarization, it allows these documents to be notarized in electronic form with a signer signing with an electronic signature and appearing before a commissioned electronic notary via the audio-video technology. And so as you can see, like I typed below, 65% of real estate professionals said that they expect to adopt remote online notarization and secure collaboration communication portals within the next 12 months. So real estate, in a way, has its very own version of the boy who cried wolf. If you've been in the industry long enough, you've been told for 20 plus years that the mortgage process would soon live entirely online. You perhaps bought the hype early and held out for the results that never came. And just so you know, the obstacles that have long blocked digital mortgage adoption are melting away. And that leaves title agencies such as us with either two options. We're going to learn about RON and the online closing process ahead of the competition, or learn as the lenders learn. And in one survey, you know, with it 65% of the real estate professionals said that they expect to adopt RON. We need to get ahead of the game here. Minnesota has become the 7th state to adopt RON legislation when Governor Mark Dayton signed Senate File 893 into law on May 20th, 2018. And it went into effect January of 2019. So this has been around, however, it hasn't been as prevalent as it is now, likely because of the whole pandemic and people trying to think of how are we going to get these closings done if we can't do it in person, because it might get to that. So this is really important that we are doing this now. And what are the benefits of RON? So RON allows a notary to get customer signatures in a matter of minutes, not days or weeks. The needed software allows users to require mandatory fields, and pre-signing the documents allows the lender and the title agencies time to review them, which ensures completion and reduces operational errors. So when we're talking about safety and security and reduction of operational errors and costs, that makes sense. And so with the safety and security, by utilizing RON, it reduces the risk because it provides the transaction an additional layer of fraud protection. So on the most basic level, it also means that your mobile notaries don't have to physically travel to their client's home or other locations. Now the documents can be e-notarized in a matter of minutes, which gives your team more time for sales and marketing to grow your business and also lead to faster funding with the delivery of an e-note. On the cost side, it helps reduce paper, shipping, and storage fees. And RON allows clients to sign documents anywhere through live video and audio conferencing. Now they do have to be within the United States. You can't be sitting over, you know, in Fiji, sipping your cocktails and doing a closing on your iPhone. You've got to be in the United States. And Ron allows clients to sign documents, through that video and audio conferencing. It provides a better customer experience. Everybody's getting more and more accustomed to the Zoom meetings and, different kinds of computer type of meetings. And so the comfort level does feel more genuine than it used to. And how do we identify that these signers are in fact who they say they are? I mean, this actually is a concern of some people, thinking, well, what if that person isn't who they are and they're doing this closing? Well, there's a lot of technology involved with this process. And as we all know, ID verification is a very important step in the notarization process. So the specific rules for verifying the identity of a signer can vary from state to state, but the process generally includes these 3 steps. And some RON laws require notaries to use at least 2 of the 3 following methods, but most states require all 3 of these. So KBA, you might hear that word a little bit more now in the future, knowledge-based authentication. The signer must correctly answer a set of computer-generated questions related to life, credit, and financial history. So state rules and industry standards do generally allow for a second KBA attempt if the first one has failed. However, if the signer cannot successfully pass the KBA, the notarization cannot occur. And as a real estate agent, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, if they answer the wrong question, this closing isn't going to happen. Well, at the end of the day, we can make it happen. You can print the form. We can get it done. It's just not going to be through this way. And I think you have to wait maybe 48 hours to generate a new one if you want to do another remote attempt. So the required technology notaries must use to perform such remote signings includes a tool that scans the signer's ID, and the scan verifies the presence of identifiers and security elements that confirm the ID is valid. So the signer holds their official government issued ID in front of the camera, and it can, I know not everybody has the actual driver's license, but whatever ID it is that signifies that you are a citizen, the notary must then match that appearance and other details included in the ID to verify that the same person before the documents can be signed. So because SoftPro, which is the software that we use, is a company that's focused on customer service as well as innovation, we want to make sure that you understand that we're implemented very securely within the system that is allowing RON to happen. And we talked a little bit about this, people think RON can't spot a fake ID. They have those responsibilities to make sure that it scans properly. And as far as I know, don't quote me, but I don't think there has ever been an instance where somebody was posing as someone else with a fake ID. It just doesn't happen. And online closings, some people think are a little bit too complicated, but they're quite simple. And your notary is there to guide you through everything you need to sign. So just like if they were sitting by you at the table, telling you where to sign in the, in the spots where they need your signature or initials or what have you, it's the same thing on here, but they're very quickly, going through the documents. It's just digital. It's the same thing. It's just looking at a computer rather than a real piece of paper. So even though there's been a lot of internet fraud lately, and we all know it's on the rise, RON has no role in this spike in fraud. Internet fraud succeeds because digital transactions are cloaked in making identity verification a core piece of any significant transaction. It's key to ensuring that. So perhaps the greatest fraud deterrent is the recorded video session. Online notarizations are recorded for quality assurance and legal purposes, ensuring that procedure is consistent, both signers and notaries, from allegations of fraud. So this is a little example kind of what the screen may look like. Most states, like I said, require 2 forms of ID. You kind of go through this process. So it's really quite smooth. And then, you do the credential analysis. It's a second form of authentication. And directions are provided on how to capture the driver's license and everything. It's basically like following along with the instructions. And then text message requests a copy of the front and back of the driver's license as well as a selfie to match that all up. Here's a little bit of a sample of kind of what the screen looks like. There will be the client's webcam, the notary. And by the way, as an agent, if you feel like you would want to be involved in it and get an invite to it, so maybe you can, give them a level of comfort, just knowing you're there, or if they have any questions specifically for you, you'd like to be able to answer them, you're more than welcome to join. Just need to send you a calendar invite for it. So that's absolutely fine too. And maybe you as a real estate agent want to help them in the way where they don't have proper internet or they don't have a good enough computer with a camera on it, and you want to welcome them into your office and guide them through it. But for some reason, they still want to do it online. And you can be there to assist them. So how can you help as an agent? Well, first of all, let them know it's an option, and we will let you know the second these things go live. That it is an option and that your lenders are set up for it. So good conversation to have right now is ask your lender. Let's say you work with a specific lender and you have for years. Say, hey, have you heard about Ron? Are you guys set up for that? If they say, what's that? That's a red flag because this is coming, and you better tell them they need to get ahead of the game and get signed up for this. And you can reach out to me. My contact info is at the end of this slideshow, and I can hook you up with somebody that can connect them to the software and get them all set up. Confirm that your signer has the proper devices, like I said, valid email address, device with audio, video, support browser, strong internet connection, just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. You don't want to be cut off in the middle of it. Verify they understand they got to be in the United States. So they will have to disclose their location, and let them know that the video of the closing will be stored and maintained by the notary at least 10 years. So although the RON process varies by state, like I said, there's a general outline on how it's conducted. It must be conducted in real time with continuous audio and visual feeds. The transaction must be recorded. The signer's identity is proven using the ID software. All of those things are absolutes. And so the document is signed, notarized, and the electronic original is tamper evident. And so also the notary block states that it was notarized remotely, and there's a log entry detailing the notarization. And the notary, whoever does it, or their title company, will keep the log and video recording as required. And so all notaries must be e-certified. Everyone that's in Minnesota title as a closer is. Currently 22 states offer it. Now that it even might be a little bit higher from when this came out, just because of the whole COVID thing. Young buyers expect this because they do a lot of the stuff online, and it actually feels very odd for them to have to go somewhere physically and sign a paper, and it's getting more and more so. And then the elderly clients, this is a huge benefit for them because, as you know, there's been some really difficult closings that have had to happen. If somebody was in assisted care living, nobody's allowed inside the buildings. Closings are done through windows, drive-throughs, any way we can make them happen, we're trying to make them happen. But how smooth would this option be as opposed to all that other running around and traveling? And so if you have any questions at all about this, I am more than happy to answer them. There is my contact info. You can call me anytime. I'm here to help. Again, Minnesota Title is really trying to go above and beyond everything they can to make sure that closing can happen timely and smoothly. And this is just another way where we are getting ahead of the game on making your closings happen. Thank you very much for listening to this video. And again, go ahead and reach out to me at any time. Talk to you soon. Bye.